Raw Project Stone Docu 86. President Donald J. Trump just moved forward with the Secure America Act, directing major new funding toward fighting child exploitation and strengthening domestic law enforcement investigations. At the same time, Clark County, Nevada, continues operating a clear revenue extraction system that converts low evidence complaints into permanent records and federal money, while actively hiding how the money moves. December 6th, 2025, Bill Fintel calls 911 on my family. The responding officer in the official report said, "No legitimate worries on the juvenile," and the concerns were the same as the prior, nothing new. The call was still permanently logged into the CAD system anyway. That entry now sits in government records indefinitely. April 20th, 2026. The same day I paid Henderson for that $238.10 for my own public records, the HOA issued 4 new violations against my home, including one for a Trump sign in my window. The timing was not accidental. This is not isolated behavior. This is exactly how the intake system is structured to generate activity. So we're taking a look at the core fraud. Title 4E is an uncapped federal entitlement. Counties receive reimbursement for every child they keep in foster care or guardianship. The more placements, the more federal money flows. Clark County uses $1.5 million in annual outside agency grant, OAG, taxpayer money as a required local match. This local tax money is the multiplier that draws huge federal reimbursements. The other line item in their subawards has moved over $356 million in 6 years, mostly for placement and administration costs. This category is deliberately vague, making it difficult to track exactly how the money is spent. Nevada's own 2026 progress report admits the system is failing on key safety and permanency metrics, yet the funding continues to increase. This is textbook fraud. Performance collapses while revenue rises. CAPTA created the broad mandatory reporting system that feeds the pipeline. ASFA added the 15 out of 22 month timeline and direct cash bonuses for adoptions. They finalized the foster care pipeline. These bonuses create a crystal clear financial incentive to terminate parental rights faster rather than work towards reunification. The faster the termination, the faster the bonus payment. This combination turns child welfare into a profit model. Low quality inputs like neighbor disputes, HOA complaints, coordinated calls are all allowed to enter into the system with almost no verification. Once logged, they can become permanent and can be used to justify further action and funding. The system rewards volume over accuracy. We're going to be taking a look at several different layers of the fraud. Local OAG money is used as the match to draw down federal funds. This means taxpayers are forced to subsidize the very system that generates more cases. Adoption incentive bonuses under ASFA create a direct profit motive for termination of parental rights. Vague budget categories like other allow hundreds of millions of dollars to move with minimal accountability or breakdown of actual spending. Public records requests are stonewalled even after payment. HPD 125 notices and referrals to city attorney. What this does is it prevents oversight of how the money is being used. Coordinated use of HOAs and neighborhood calls functions as low-cost, low accountability intake method that feeds the revenue pipeline while staying off official 911, 311 logs in some cases. Multi-state coordination, Henderson, Nevada calls triggered from Davenport, Iowa, different responses, vice versa, shows the fraud is not contained to one jurisdiction or state. The structural crime is this. The system is designed so that weak or manufactured inputs can still generate permanent records and federal funding. There is almost no gate at the point of entry to stop low quality or coordinated noise from becoming official government data. The technical enabler of the fraud. Current 911 and CAD systems have no meaningful cryptographic integrity at intake. They function as simple logging systems. Anyone can submit a report. It gets recorded permanently, and there is no mathematical process to verify whether the claim meets any real evidentiary standard before it becomes a part of someone's permanent family file. This design flaw is what allows the fraud to scale. One motivated individual, one HOA, or a small coordinated group can feed an entire system information that sticks. There's no provenance tracking, no real-time validation, and no way to audit input quality before it affects funding and family outcomes. The cryptographic override. Stone 911 Pulsegate places a cryptographic verification layer directly at intake. It evaluates calls against verifiable risk patterns using zero-knowledge techniques before anything is allowed to become a permanent record. Low evidence noise is filtered. Only inputs that meet a cryptological provable threshold create a lasting flag. WonderGrid records every referral, every CAD entry, every OAG match, every Title IV draw, every contractor payment, and every outcome in an immutable post-quantum ledger. Future administrations can change laws or attempt to protect old funding streams, but the actual data trail cannot be rewritten or hidden. This removes the main technical vulnerability that the current fraud model relies on. Bad inputs no longer become easy, permanent records that affect a family for their entire life while triggering funding streams of federal cash and taxpayer money. I built this because I watched a system operate with any real gate at the front door. The documents, the payment receipts, the officer notes, the funding numbers, and the timing of the coordinated pressure are all public. They speak for themselves. The old model depends on weak intake and hidden money flows. That model is now directly challenged at the technical level. The private labyrinth is losing its ability to operate in the dark. The shield wall of light is already in place. Kids ain't federal cash. God wins.